Hey everyone, so this is going to be my first tutorial for my 25 days of Christmas crafts. And I'm sorry I have to start it off with baking, but I'm actually making this for a friend. It's his birthday tomorrow and he really likes this. So I thought I would just start off with this since I'm making it. So this first tutorial is going to be how to show you to make almond roca, and it's actually really easy and it's really fast and you don't really need a lot of ingredients. So the first thing you'll need in terms of utensils is a measuring cup that has a 1/4 cup measurement in it. You will need a measuring cup that holds 1 cup. And you can essentially use this one as well, but I don't like to mix it for whatever reason. You'll need a food grade thermometer. And you can find these at the dollar store these days. This one I think I got at Target for about $5. But I'm sure if you ask your mom or your dad, they'll probably have it. You'll need a spoon to stir it, so it doesn't matter if it's wooden, plastic, metal. You'll need a bag of sliced almonds. Any almonds are fine. I'm using baking almonds, and in terms of the size, it's 6 ounces or 170 grams. And it really depends on how much almonds you want in it. This recipe is my friend's. I call it the evil twin almond roca because she's like my evil twin. She uses only half, but I tend to use the whole thing because I like almonds in mine. You will need a pound of salted cream butter. And you want to make sure it's at room temperature as well, even though you'll be melting it down. Then you will be needing Caro's light corn syrup. It doesn't necessarily have to be light corn. It could just be corn syrup. But this is 1 pint or 16 fluid ounces. You're not going to need that much, but you'll probably be using, I don't know, 1/4 of it. And then you'll need, obviously, lots of sugar. So it is a fattening dessert, but it's really, really good. And this is the type of gift that you can give to anyone, whether it's your mom, your dad, your friend, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. So, oh, and then you'll need a pan that's sprayed with butter, or you can grease it with butter. But in this case, I'm just gonna put wax paper on it and test that and see how that works. But typically, I just don't use wax paper at all, and I just lightly spray it with butter, like Pam or something. Okay, and I'll show you the rest after. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first thing you wanna do once your butter is at room temperature is unwrap them all, find a deep pot, put it on medium heat, and melt the butter. So as you can see, I've already put 3 sticks of butter in, and here is the last stick of butter. And you'll just want to drop it in there and let it slowly melt, and make sure you have it on medium heat because you definitely don't want to burn your butter. And as you can see, the butter is melting. Okay, so as you can see, all of the butter has melted, and you can tell it's not burned from the sides and the smell, but I'm not a chef, so I can't verify that. I just know it's not burning because I don't see any bubbling. So basically what you want to do now is you want to take 2 cups of white sugar and stir it in. So yes, like I said, this is a very fattening treat, but it is Christmas, so I guess you guys can allow yourself that. Excuse me. So that was 1 cup, and then there's 2 cups. Okay, and then what you just want to do is slowly stir that in, or as some people would say, fold it. I just stir it, to be quite honest. And what it starts to do is it starts to break down the sugar. So it's slightly thicker. So it almost looks like hollandaise sauce. I'm a big fan of Eggs Benedict, so this is what it reminds me of. So once you've stirred the sugar in with the butter, what you want to do is just let that continue to cook. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna get a small cup or something that you can put in the microwave, and you'll want to put a 1/4 cup of water in it. And then what you'll do is microwave that until it's hot. So for a 1/4 cup of water, I'd say no more than a minute, otherwise it's gonna boil over. Okay, so here's my 1/4 cup of water. I know you can't see it because the water is obviously, and then what you wanna do is just take your bowl and pour your 1/4 cup of water in the bowl, and then, like I said, stick it in the microwave for about a minute. So I took the bowl of water out of the microwave. Be very careful, use an oven mitt to take it out because it's really hot. So while the water's still hot, what you'll want to do is take your Karo syrup, and you'll want to pour in a 1/4 cup of Karo syrup. Now it's really important to remember this, is when you start to pour the syrup into the water, you need to make sure that the syrup completely dissolves in the water. And that's really important to, I guess, create the binding between the water and the Karo syrup. And then obviously when you make your almond roca. And the fun part's coming up. So sorry, I'm just kind of pouring it. So here is a 1/4 cup of Karo syrup. So as you can see, there's a lot left. And then what you'll want to do is just pour it in. And sorry about that noise in the background, that's my dog. And I'm just going to scoop it out. And that's my other dog. They're running up and down the basement. And what you'll do, and again, be very careful, is if you can see here, see how it's separated? You can see like the gelatinous Karo syrup in the water. Oops. You'll just keep mixing it and mixing it until it's completely dissolved. And I'm making a mess here because I'm not paying attention. So let me, sorry. Okay, so it's completely dissolved, and the way you can tell is when you initially pour in the Karo syrup, it's really thick. It's like a clear syrup, obviously, but once it's dissolved, it feels just like water. Okay, so now we're back to the butter, and it's been sitting with the sugar. So there's the sugar, as you can see, and it's kind of separated from the butter. So now this is also very important. What you want to do is take your bowl of syrup and water, and you'll want to slowly pour it into the butter mixture. And the reason why you need to be really slow is there's some type of reaction, so then the mixture starts to bubble up and hiss. It's actually really, really cool, but it can burn you, so please be careful. And I'll just demonstrate. So you can hear that. And now it's just pouring in a little bit. And then just slowly pour it in. And then continue to stir. And then what you'll do now is you'll want to bring the temperature up to 290 degrees. So if you look at the thermometer here, chocolate starts to melt at a little over 100 degrees. But as you go over or higher, where it reads soft ball, firm ball, hard ball, and soft crack, that's where you want to bring the temperature between 280 and 300. So 290 is the best. That's when you get between a soft crack and a hard crack. You don't want your almond brittle too hard. I actually like it soft, so I would say either 280 or maybe a little lower. So you'll just set your thermometer inside, and you'll see here it's already going up in temperature. And if your thermometer is not calibrated, meaning it's not correct in terms of gauging the temperature, you'll definitely want to make sure that you have it calibrated before you cook it. And the way you can do that is typically it comes with directions, but you just put it in boiling hot water and just gauge it from that way. So I'm just gonna let it sit here until it increases in temperature. And you'll want to make sure you stir it occasionally as well. Okay, so as you can see, it's hitting the soft crack. So as soon as it hits soft crack, or maybe a little in between, I'm just gonna go ahead and remove it from the heat. Alright, I'm gonna remove it from the heat. Okay, so I've removed it from the heat. And be careful, it's really hot. I forgot to mention, make sure you have an oven mitt or have your parents do this. And as you can see here, it's really dark brown and it's really sticky. So what you'll want to do is give it a quick mix, and then we're going to start off with half a cup of almonds. So this is a half a cup measuring cup. And then you'll just slowly stir it in. And I know I said I raised the heat to high because I didn't know my stove, but I would just keep it at medium because it went to high really fast. And so I can tell it's just a little burnt. Not too bad, but it is a little burned. And I'm going to pour in another half cup of almonds because, again, I like almonds. A lot of almonds in my almond roca. So basically, if you like almonds, put in a whole cup. If you don't, only put in half a cup. And I'm just mixing it all in there. Mixed in well. What you'll want to do is bring your pan over, and I sprayed it lightly with butter, but you don't have to, but I would recommend it. And then what you'll just want to do is pour the entire mix onto the pan. Okay, so once you have it in the pan, you'll want to let this cool down from half an hour to an hour, depending on the temperature of your home, the climate that you're in, and obviously how hot it was when you took it off the heat and how long did you leave it off and all that. But I found about an hour is best. Okay, so this is how it looks once you spread it out in the pan, and I haven't let it cool down yet. It's only been a couple of minutes here. But if you, so I know I shouldn't be touching it, right? But I'm eating it, and my friends, and whatever. It's not a food safety tutorial. It's already hard on the sides. As you can see here, it's like caramel consistency. So again, half an hour to an hour.